I just want to give some thoughts on just the government, kind of following in tandem with my other videos, kind of syncing up on everything. So I know I've kind of talked about, dollar being the big part of how we vote and everything, and how these people don't care. Kind of circle back to that. I think the biggest issue we have now is the politicians driving these rifts between us, causing these issues. And I don't think people realize how nepotistic a lot of um, these people are. How much is not actually grassroots individuals that came from nothing to something. A lot of these individuals have family in politics. A lot of these individuals believe themselves and have given themselves that the opportunity just by living in the family that they do. And I was reading Thomas Paine's Common Sense, and it's funny because it just mentions exactly that. It says, men who look upon themselves born to reign and others to obey soon grow insolent, selected from the rest of mankind. Their minds are early poisoned by importance, and the world they act in differs so materially from the world at large that they have but little opportunity of knowing its true interests. And when they succeed to the government, are, and when they succeed to the government, are frequently the most ignorant and unfit of any throughout the dominions. Perfectly said. Couldn't be more succinct than that. A lot of these people are not smart. A lot of these people are not who you think they are. And to act as if, we should be subservient and we should, automatically believe everything that they say to us is crazy. It really shouldn't be that case. It shouldn't be the case. We need to act as our own individuals. And for that reason, the community is so important. We need to be able to come together as communities and do this. And the more we avoid that, and the more we try and make up ways to just isolate ourselves and just say one side bad, the other side good, it doesn't do anything for anyone. And it leads to people believing that they're way more important than they actually are, and they're not. The community as a whole, and I know this sounds kind of communist, sounds very socialist. Oh, you're talking about community, you're talking about comrades, you're talking about, I'm not. I'm talking about just what is around you in society. The whole reason why we exist is to be able to help one another. It's not because we, as a Christian people, that's kind of what the whole premise of this nation is built off of, is Christianity and those morals. There's no reason why we shouldn't have that desire to love one another, to be able to be kind to our neighbor, treat them like you would want to be treated. That's the whole reason why we're here. And so I think that's what we need to be doing, and we're not doing it. We're isolating ourselves. We're allowing these people who have, gotten to these points and positions to manipulate our thoughts and manipulate what we believe in. And that's not what needs to happen. We need to stop with that. We need to start recognizing that the people, our neighbors, are good people, that most of the people that we interact with on a daily basis really would care for you in the moment of need. I think there's more instances of people rushing into traffic or rushing into fires and things like that than you would ever hear on the news, because that's not something that's that beneficial. It's not going to drive views, because it helps build a community. It helps build faith in individuals around you. So I think that's what we need to be doing, is just building a community of trust and faith. And irregardless of whether or not you're Christian or not, it doesn't mean that you have to believe in Christianity to have that kind of same moral value or those virtues. But we all recognize that that's something that's made the American nation so wonderful and great, is the fact that that's how we interacted for so long. And the more we start to run away from that, the more easy it is for governments to just be like, yeah, us versus them. And I'm not about that. I don't care if you're MAGA. I don't care if you're, hardcore leftist. I don't care. I just want to be able to come and have a conversation with you. And if you're not willing to have a conversation, it doesn't matter. Irregardless of what you believe in, that you are exiling yourself on purpose from people who really want to get to know you and really want to be able to enjoy that conversation. And so, I'm going to try and set up meetings and try and get people communicating and just conversing on and debating these topics, because that's how we all get together. The more we talk, the more we debate these things out, the more we're just going to meet in the middle, because that's really what at the end is result for everything, is meeting in the middle. It's not trying to force my way of doing things on you. I don't want that. I don't think that's the way that the world has ever worked. So why not try and come together and make it easier for everyone and meet in the middle, where we all prefer to be anyways? I think everybody looks at one side or the other side and they're like, that is not where I want to go. I like the middle. I like the ability to say, okay, we can concede to some of these points, and we're willing to enforce these points. So I hope that we can start doing that. I hope that that's something that, you know, our society is willing to do, instead of siloing themselves in their belief system and saying, I'm not willing to budge. I'm not willing to talk to anyone, and I'm going to believe what I believe, and I'm only going to listen to those who support my belief system. So hopefully we can stop that. Hopefully that's something we can do. Anyways, peace.